Thank you for coming to our interview. We're really happy to have you here. One of my questions will be, what does industry want from graduates?
Well, the industry basically wants, from my experience, especially in this country, there is a huge gap in the fields of education in creative economy. It's just huge. The whole industry, unfortunately, was not the arts management as such is not taught at the level which we would want. So we, as a foundation, kind of tried to create it ourselves and do the ongoing trainings of trial and error during the work, which is better to be avoided. So the reason is there is no proper, again, arts management courses at the universities in Uzbekistan. Unlike what you usually have in the European countries, you have it definitely in France, you definitely have it around UK, have it at proper courses. You can have a film, it divides into so many narrow fields that you can always find the film producer, film like the scenario writing, etc., etc., etc. There is this gap, specifically in this country, with the management side of the arts and culture industry. So I would say there's definitely a need to have those multilingual people who are studying in different languages. First of all, of course, as a foundation, we always need English, and English has to be a top-level English because we are interacting with the numerous countries in the world. We have to be working with them closely. That's why English is a must, and that's not what always usually arts and culture students get in this country. They're usually, if they're doing the if they are the artists, so they'll just be kind of busy with the portraits and doing their things without narrowing down to the language. And if it's something that has to do with the cinema as well, there not that many people will be speaking different languages. So the language is a must. I'm talking about our organization. Second is the both interests and kind of the burning will to be interested in arts and culture, and particularly for us, it's theater, choreography, it's music, it's fine arts and museums, and literature. So we would like to have those students who can kind of be in both sides of understanding the arts and culture, but also understanding how to produce that. And that's usually always the case with the cultural organizations. Maybe Hussein knows that. So orchestras, they would have a great conductors, but if the manager of the orchestra is not good enough, the orchestra will not be able to be having good tours, will not be able to having a good marketing plan, will not be having an interesting, that's the thing, how they should be presenting themselves. So this kind of the manager is very much needed in here, and I'm not talking about pop stars producer music who are usually using the stars just for the sake of making money from them. I'm talking about genuine producers that are actually aimed at spreading these beautiful things that the musicians, that the artists, that the choreographers are doing, and connecting well with the modern world. And our problem was mainly to spread higher cultural things like the beautiful classical concerts. There's usually a narrow amount of people who want to attend it, and that's usually the same amount of 300, 400 or whatever amount of people. So we do need those managers in order to connect them. So that's our gap in this industry. We need it in the field of restoration as well. You got the museum restorers, and the restoration has been disregarded for a pretty long time. It's probably 20 something years. In order to have proper restorers, first we have to have good schools for them. We have to have proper laboratories for them in order for them to work, and the education level. I mean, even the competition between it's non-existent at the moment, whereas it should be. So that's I think that's the industry and education gap that we currently have in the field that I'm working on.
First of all, we should know in which country the graduate is finished his school, his education, and in which country he or she is working, and what is the ecosystem of the creative industry sector on this area, on this region, on this country. This is very important. And comparing this, how is the level of the ecosystem on the country, on this region, we can split this in different levels, different steps. If there is not ecosystem, then we should work on building an ecosystem to support the graduates and youth specialists who is starting to working on creative industry. Because main important thing is these people should keep going on this field, not to moving to another field. Since they graduated, they studied on this field, on creative industry field and this sector, and we should also care that we should think that they should get enough payment, enough salary, let's say, enough income from this field. Otherwise, they will lose their job. They will move to another fields. It's why this is very important. Creative sector needs from graduates keep going on this field, on their this field, which is educated, and the region and country should care about this all ecosystem for them to prepare the ecosystem for their future work, future activities. This is what creative sector needs from the graduates. The next thing is if there is enough ecosystem to work on this field, continue their work, their activities, then it comes. The next level will be to train, to educate the people from that region where the people, the youth specialists is working, the people who is in this region who is working on creative sector, because not all the people who is working on creative sector knows how to make money from their job, their creativity. It's why first thing is youth specialists should keep going on on this field if they're moving in other regions or staying in country. And second thing is this youth people, youth specialists should train, should educate the people who is working on another sectors of creative industry.
You have mentioned in the beginning of our conversation that you are focusing on cooperation with foreign countries, partly with the UK. Can you share with us some of your experience of your organization in this field, in cooperating or partnership with foreign countries?
Sure. We've been working for 5 years now, so we are serving as a bridge between Uzbekistan and all the other countries. As everybody knows, for arts and culture, you can have many world rankings, and France would probably be the first one in this list. So we are closely working with French Republic. The peak of it was last week when both of the presidents met in Paris. We were involved in two of the projects that were organized together, and they were inaugurated by both of the presidents. We are closely working with Germany, with Italy, where we had several projects going on. We are looking forward to work with many other countries, including Far East, maybe Middle East, all around CIS, Americas, and we're developing all of those relations, and we are doing mutually beneficial, interesting projects that has been, the Uzbekistan was quite closed up until 2016, 2017, and there is a big hunger for Uzbekistan in general because we were not on the cultural map for a long time, and now we are, and this is the time for us to represent the country, to talk about our cultural heritage, which is actually huge. It's just not marketed well yet. That's what I'm saying. The lack of the arts management people in this country, and yeah. So these are the cultural relations that we are building with the world.
Thank you. One more question. What already have been done to improve our ecosystem, or what kind of problems have been already solved in this direction?
It's difficult to answer because from my experience, let's say I'm from the creative industry sector. I'm a culture and arts sector, from the culture and arts sector, but I cannot freely, let's say, flexible organize my events to earn my money, to my income. For example, there is not support. Let's leave this. It's difficult to answer to this question.
I would probably add it. If you're talking about economics as supply and demand, there is definitely a problem with the demand in some fields. The demand is there. It's just that if you're talking about like high quality, super professional music, you have to market it well, and you have to tell the public that it does exist, which means that then where you, in our capitalistic world, that's how you are selling your tickets, that's how you are creating that's how your supply meets that demand. But then again, there's also the problem with the supply side. There is a demand for what we found out. There is a demand for some foreign musicians doing big concerts in here, and you have shows being sold out like 2 weeks, 3 weeks before. So there is a demand for that. It's just that it's not. We have to market. We have to market it well. I mean, talking about our experiences, so you have some amazing musicians to which we could not introduce them well, or some people do not know them, and we didn't have the show was not sold out, so the hall was not full, which means people didn't buy enough tickets, and on vice versa, you have some great marketing campaign that reflected that people know that artist. They've heard about him before, so we've chosen him. And this is, again, it depends on from country to country. Some artists are superbly popular within their country, but they're not that popular outside of it. So this is to me, this is supply and demand side. So once you create a beautiful music, and it can be, and you have enough listeners for it, and you have people buying the albums, and you have people who want to go for the concert, you have people inviting them for the events. That's how you kind of create this sustainable model of the ongoing musical band, for example, earning the money. But again, this is definitely the question for all the people involved in arts and culture, that should be earning something, and definitely there is this gap between.
But you know, all these shows, all these music genres can get enough payment from concerts, from performances, from shows. You know, I'm talking about the intangible cultural heritage. Let's say Kartashola included to the UNESCO heritage list, but where you can listen to Kartashola. Okay, as a culture expert, as a world music expert, I'll try to organize the Kartashola event, but without support, I cannot do nothing. And I should pay, let's say, for hall, for renting hall, for sound engineering, for sound service, and also let's say sell tickets, and how much money I will get. I will pay for artists, for musicians. You know, and also one issue is there is no support for the culture who doesn't get enough income from their shows, their concerts, their activities. The another issue is there is not good and suitable venue for this kind of performance, for this concert. Let's say Bach epic storytelling, and where we can listen the epic only for official ceremonies, official events, there's big festivals, but we cannot hear the Shashmakam and Kartashola and other traditional music instrumental concerts. We don't have any special concerts, unfortunately. This is a big issue.
Yep.
We need the government should support such culture fields, culture sectors.
What do you think if we create the public that wants to listen to Kartashola, that wants to listen to Maqam, that will come for Bakshi concerts? So you have that public, you have thousands of people who want to attend that concert, who are ready to come for it. So this is a supply and demand thing. So once you get them, you don't need any other support. You already produced it. People already know that. I know that you can find 100 people who want for it, but in order for you to pay off, you need more people.
Exactly.
Sure, but this is the marketing problem.
It's not only marketing problem. It's the issue of culture policy of the country. Otherwise, let's say I had in my experience I had 50 my audience, 50 people in all my concerts, and my concerts was organized on the venue where is only 80 people can get in, and it was very wonderful concert. And the problem is I don't sell. I cannot sell the tickets, because if I sell the tickets, I cannot get enough money for, let's say, and there will be issue with a lot of paperwork, and also I should pay the tax. And there is no way, there is no support for private sector who wants to organize such concerts, small concerts. Let's say this is a big issue with traditional music and intangible cultural heritage. What about let's say, guitar player? And this slowly starting the guitar player, let's say, who is graduated music university or conservatory. If he wants to organize the concerts, there is not enough small venues for them. And there is venues only more than 300 people. But to organize a small concert, small shows, to start educate the people to come in such concerts, we need the smaller, professional, high-level venues with 80 people, with 100 people. It's at least for 150 people. More than 150, it's too much for such small concert. And the government and the governors should support such sector of the concerts.
I wanted to ask, actually, what would you recommend to young people who is planning to run a business in this?
So my question is, first of all, we should change the culture policy system. Not for young people, there should be the ecosystem. Unfortunately, there is not enough ecosystem. Now, Creative Spark project working with several universities in Uzbekistan, and this is Academy of Public Administration is one of the best place where the Creative Spark, creative industry should be how to say, teached or included to the program, education program.
Why the universities cannot be fully involved?
Because you educate here who will be governor and mayor and who works at the mayoralty of the regions. And for creative industry, for creative cultural art management or sector, it's very necessary that governors should understand the importance of the culture and art and creative industry. Only when they know about it, then your people who graduated the universities can go the regions and continue their job, their work, with this creative industry. Otherwise, it's difficult. Only when they know about the importance of creative culture and art and culture and creative industry, governors and mayors and who works on the regions, only after that they can how to say, organize the ecosystem. Otherwise, it's difficult.
The next question is, how do you think, is there enough amount of specialists who can train or teach people to project management in the cultural industry?
Well, I particularly think there's a big need in project management within this industry. So we do have a construction industry, and project management is superbly vital for it. I mean, without project management within the construction industry, you will not be able to have proper buildings. You will not be able to have proper times for them to. I mean, you won't have deadlines that are met. It's the same thing happens with the medicine. The same thing happens with airlines business, because I mean, you will not be able to fly on time. You will not be able to do the catering. You will not be able to land and to fly off, etc. So this is the basic project management that you usually have within those industries. Unfortunately, in arts and culture, it's largely disregarded. Many artistic people are, being involved within their creativity. They forget about, some basic project management things for which the producers and the managers are usually responsible for this. And in order to have more managers in this industry, of course, they, as Hosnudin says, they have to be paid more, and there should be bigger kind of payback towards that. But as this industry does not always have, well, there are some, but it doesn't always have that. So the level of project management in this industry, unfortunately, is not on a high level. So you do need to have project managers working within these fields as well, and those project managements kind of serving as a bridge between those artists and people who are usually superbly creative but do fail with the basic management skills, and they are kind of the mediators between the world and the creative people. For this, the cultural institutions that are based in this country, they definitely need to introduce those courses. Those courses will not be probably as strict as it is in construction business or in airline business or whatever, but they should have those basic project management skills taught for the specialists. Yeah.
There is an other issue. We have the good specialties on culture and arts management and creative industry, but they are not teachers. They are not working on the universities. And universities should find the good balance to invite them to the university, to good practitioners, and who is active working on the culture and arts field and the creative industry. They should invite to the university, and the university should find the place and find the somehow deal with the professionals to include their lecturers on or other workplace on university education system. because they are very active, very busy people who is working on this field, and if you invite them to the university for full-time job, they cannot do it, and they should. It's why the universities and education system and institutions should talk with these professionals at least 1 year in advance. Invite them that after 1 year we would like to have you at our university, in which period you can teach our students, and they should find a good way, good cooperation, good balance to include this, to invite this professional at the university, at the institution. Only on this way we can develop the sector at the universities.